Hi, Denise. Zach there as well. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we're here, so I guess we'll get started and then whoever else joins will join later. So tonight's lesson always kind of follows from the lessons that we do before. It's more of a meditation that we could call connecting with our essential nature. So at the end of this, I'll upload it as a meditation that can be listened to at any time, maybe before bed or if you feel stressed. So yeah, this is part of our anxiety relief series that we're doing on Daily Freedom School. Let's get right into it. So I would suggest for people who are watching this, in regards to the position of the body, just sit as comfortably as possible and feel free to change your position whenever necessary. So to begin, we keep our eyes closed. The reason for doing this is that at this stage, we are not exploring our visual perception of the world. So closing our eyes right now removes the visual perception of the world, and it enables us to explore more intimately our internal experience. Understand and, more importantly, feel yourself to be the presence of awareness with which all experience is known. Some of us who will watch this or who are here may already have been taking this stand as the presence of awareness before I suggested it. And I know that for others among us who may watch this video, just my suggestion was all that was necessary to soften the focus of our attention from its subjective content and come back to the presence of awareness. I know that there are others among us for whom it is not yet clear what is meant by know yourself or be knowingly the presence of awareness. So I would like to say a little bit more about this. If we were to ask most people to describe their experience of themselves as a person, they would describe a series of thoughts, memories, images, emotions, sensations of the body, activities, relationships, and so on. Few people would mention the fact of being aware. It's like asking people to describe the content of the room in which they are sitting. Most people would describe the books, the furniture, the objects, etc. But not many would refer to the space. Why do we not refer to the space? After all, it is the larger part of our experience of the room, because it is transparent, invisible. It has no objective qualities. Similarly, when we think of or describe our experience of ourselves? Why do we overlook the fact of being aware or awareness itself? After all, it is the larger part of our experience of ourselves. Later, I will contradict that statement and go on to say that it is the totality of our experience of ourselves. But for now, let us say that our experience of ourselves as a person comprises of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, and the fact of being aware or awareness itself. This combination of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, plus awareness constitutes our experience of ourselves as a person. Now take a moment, here we pause, and just check the truth of this in your own experience. When you think of yourself as a person, thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, and awareness. The only element of our experience of ourselves that remains consistently present throughout all experience is the fact of being aware or awareness itself. Just as the only element of a movie oh, Fernando just joined us.
How's it going?
Good. We started doing a meditation. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Please continue.
Yeah. So we're talking about connecting within, and this can be watched again as a meditation before bed and things. So you can watch it from the start. So basically, the only element of our experience of ourself that remains consistently present throughout all experience is the fact of being aware or awareness itself. Just as the only element of a movie that remains consistently present throughout the entire movie is the screen. And we are closing our eyes during this meditation because we're just looking at the internal experience and we don't necessarily need to have the visual. So here again, we pause for a moment and verify this in our experience. The only element of my experience that remains consistently there throughout everything is being aware. So everything in our experience, apart from the fact of being aware or awareness itself, is temporary, appearing and disappearing. The only element of our experience that doesn't appear, change, and disappear is the fact of being aware. And it is from this ever-present awareness that we derive our sense, our certainty that I am always the same person. I have always been myself. It is obviously not possible to derive a sense of continuity and consistency from that which is always changing and vanishing. Even during the last 10 minutes or so of this meditation, the only element of our experience that has remained stable, present, consistent, is the fact of being aware. Everything else changes and vanishes, and yet we all feel, I have been present for 10 minutes. What is that has been present for 10 minutes? I, awareness. Don't try to find the presence of awareness as an object of experience in the same way that we might find a thought, a feeling, or a sensation. For the same reason that the eyes cannot see themselves, so we, awareness, cannot find ourselves as an object of experience. We are too close to ourselves. We can only be ourselves knowingly. When I say we can only be ourselves knowingly, I do so because most people are themselves the presence of awareness, but unknowingly. That is, without realizing it. Why? Because they have overlooked their self, the presence of awareness, in favor of the content of their experience. We don't become awareness as a result of this investigation. We just notice, oh yes, that's what I essentially am. I mistook myself. I previously mistook myself for a cluster of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, which are constantly appearing and disappearing. Now I have noticed that what I essentially am is simply the fact of being aware, or awareness itself. So in the first step, we recognize that as a person or a human being, we are not just a collection of thoughts, images, feelings, and sensations. That we are not just a body and a mind. We are all of these, plus the fact of being aware or awareness itself. A movie is not just a series of images. It is a series of images plus the screen. In the second step, having recognized the presence of awareness, we recognize that awareness is what we essentially are. It is our identity. When I say awareness is what we essentially are, I mean it is that element of ourself that cannot be taken away from us. Everything else, thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, etc., appear to us, they last, and then they vanish. They are not essential to us, however intimate they may be. Our feelings, our relationships, our activities, they are not essential to us. They are like clothes that we wear, so to speak. We put them on and we take them off. The only element of our experience that is essential and irreducible is the fact of being aware, or awareness itself. In the second step, we recognize the fact of being aware, or the presence of awareness, is what I essentially am. It is my essence, the core of my being. As the name I is the name that we give to ourselves throughout our lives, the name I properly belongs to awareness alone. How do we become aware of the screen when watching a movie? We relax the focus of our attention from the drama in the movie. The screen doesn't suddenly become visible as a result of this, but we suddenly seem to notice it. How do we become aware of our self? We relax the focus of our attention from the drama of experience, and our self, or our being, the fact of being aware, emerges, as it were, from the background of experience. We cannot take a step towards our self-awareness. We can only sink back into it. If you find yourself getting involved with or lost in thinking, just disengage. Take a step back. Don't try to stop the thoughts. Don't try to change the thoughts. Let the thoughts continue, but don't follow them. Just let them flow past you. You are the one who is aware of them. So, in the first step, we recognize the presence of awareness. In the second step, we recognize I am awareness. And in the third step, we begin to explore the nature of the awareness that I am. Most people believe and feel that their essential self, pure awareness, is so mixed up or identified with the content of experience, particularly thoughts, feelings, and sensations, that it shares their limits, that it shares the qualities of their thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And it is this mixture of ourself, pure awareness, with the content of experience, with the mind and the body in particular, that makes us believe, and more importantly, feel that I, awareness, am temporary, finite, limited, separate. So the separate self, or person, that most people believe and feel themselves to be is a mixture of their essential self plus their thoughts, feelings, and sensations. So the first step we take in recognizing the nature of our self-awareness is to disentangle ourselves from the content of experience. We separate ourselves from everything that is not essential to us. We realize it is not I, this person, or I, this body, mind, that is aware of the world. It is I, awareness, that is aware of the body, the mind, and the world. In other words, the body and the mind, this mixture of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, is not itself aware. It is something that we, awareness, are aware of. This body-mind is an object of experience. It's not the subject of experience. The body-mind is known. It does not do the knowing. The knowing belongs to awareness alone. If you would like an image to accompany this stage of understanding, imagine that you are in the cinema watching a movie, and you are seated in the middle of the middle row, and you're watching a movie. The movie, in this analogy, is the world that we perceive. And you, seated in the middle row, is the person that you normally consider yourself to be. So there's a person sitting in the middle of a cinema watching a movie. In the same way that the person we normally consider ourselves to be watches the world or is aware of the world. Now imagine that your body remains in the middle row, but awareness in you gets up and goes and sits in the back row. It's a simplistic and not very accurate analogy, but it'll suffice at least for this stage of understanding. So now you have the movie, which is equivalent of the world. We have the person that we normally consider ourselves to be sitting in the middle row, a cluster of thoughts, images, feelings, and sensations. And you, the presence of awareness, sitting in the back row, watching both the person and the movie. As I said, it is a very simplistic and inadequate analogy. Later, I will collapse the distance between awareness, the body, the mind, and the world. But for this stage of understanding, it may be helpful just to take this image and allow it to help you feel that you are the awareness in the background of your experience. In the near foreground is the mind and the body, and in the further foreground is the world, the external world, it seems. And you, as the presence of awareness in the back row, you contemplate the person, the body, mind in the middle row. Just as the person in the middle row previously seemed to contemplate the movie. So now it is no longer I, the person, the body mind, that watches the movie. It is I, awareness, that watches the body mind and the movie. The body and mind are no longer the subject of experience. They have become objects or the content of experience. And just as previously we sat in the middle row as a person watching the movie, enjoying the movie, irrespective of its content, because we knew and felt that we were not implicated by anything that took place in the movie. So now we, awareness, sit in our comfortable seat, our premium seat in the back row of the cinema, enjoying both what takes place in the person, that is the flow of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perceptions, and we enjoy the movie. Enjoying the entire content because we know that we are not implicated by it. Previously, we were sitting as a person in the middle row. We didn't just enjoy the pleasant scenes, we enjoyed the frightening scenes, the dark ones, the chaotic scenes. Why? Because we watched them from the comfort of our seat, knowing that we remained untouched by them. So now, from our premium seat at the back of the cinema, we watch the content not only the world, but the body and the mind with the same affectionate but disinterested attention, knowing that nothing we experience has any effect on us. We don't just enjoy the pleasant images in the movie. We don't just enjoy the pleasant experiences in the body, mind. We enjoy the entire content of the movie. We enjoy the entire content of the body and the mind. The positive experiences, the negative experiences, and the neutral ones. Why are we unable to enjoy the entire content of experience equally? Because we know that ultimately we remain independent of it. Why are we able to enjoy the entire content? Because we know that we are ultimately independent. We are not implicated by it. Now, for some of us, what is being suggested will be clear, and for some of us, it may not. There may be confusion. There may be agitation. For others, there may be boredom. Remember, the confusion, the boredom, the agitation are part of what you are experiencing. They are not what you are. Don't say or feel, I am confused. Say and feel, I know the experience of confusion. Confusion refers to the person sitting in the middle row. The presence of awareness from its premium seat in the back row is not itself confused. It is pure clarity. Pure knowing has no color or quality of its own. So, if there is confusion, don't worry. Don't do anything to get rid of it. Just observe it. Observe it with disinterested and affectionate attention. It's part of the movie. It is not what you are. It is what you know. If you are bored or irritated or restless, don't touch these experiences. Don't consider them failures of your meditation. No, they are just the conditioning of your mind. They are not what you are. They are what you know. And that which knows boredom, the irritation, the restlessness, is not itself bored, irritated, or restless. It is sitting in the premium seat at the back row, perfectly comfortable, perfectly peaceful, enjoying the drama of the movie. Be that one, knowingly. Just as previously when we believed and felt that we were the person, the body, mind, sitting in the middle row, watching the movie, we never felt, I am the movie. We felt, I am the person, the body, mind. So now, we, awareness, from our premium seat in the background of experience, not only do we never feel I am the world, we never feel I am the person. This bundle of thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, perception, activities, relationships, they happen to me. They are what I know, but they are not what I am. Previously, we believed and felt it was I, the person that knows the world. I, the body-mind that knows the world. It is now I, awareness, that knows the body-mind in the world. Now, we are still in our virtual cinema. We have the movie in the foreground that represents our experience of the world. We have the person or the body-mind in the middle, and awareness viewing it all from its premium seat in the background. Now, notice that the person, the body-mind in the middle ground, becomes animated by what takes place in the movie. It laughs when something funny takes place. It cries when something sad takes place. It becomes nervous or frightened when something frightening takes place. In other words, the body-mind, the person, is animated in response to the world. But awareness in the background always remains the same, unmoved, unchanged, unaffected by the content either of the movie in the foreground or the person in the middle ground. It simply watches it all. It doesn't get lost in the drama that it observes, and nor does it resist anything that takes place in the drama. It neither goes towards, it nor moves away from it, nor does it ever try to hold on to anything that is taking place either in the foreground or in the middle. It simply experiences it as it is, without resisting, without holding on to anything, and without seeking anything that is not present. It is just open, available, at peace. Notice that the person in the middle row may be changed or affected by the movie, but at the end of the movie, awareness in the back row will be in exactly the same condition that it was at the beginning of the movie. It will not have been enriched or diminished by the movie. Nothing will have been added to it, and nothing will have been taken away from it. And night after night, awareness comes back and watches a different movie. But it always remains the same. It does not gain anything or lose anything from the content of the movie. Its peace and its sense of fulfillment or happiness is not dependent upon what takes place in the movie, or indeed how the body and mind of the person in the middle row may be affected by it. Likewise, we, awareness, always remain at peace and inherently fulfilled, irrespective of what takes place in the body, the mind, or the world. This is referred to in Christian tradition as the peace that's passive understanding. What it really means is that peace that is prior to the content of experience, prior to and independent of a peace that cannot be known by the mind. In that sense, it passeth understanding and is not a peace that belongs to the person sitting in the middle. It is a peace that only awareness in the back row knows about. Or rather, it is the very nature of awareness in the background. It is independent of the content of the body and the mind in the middle row, and likewise independent of the content of the movie. In the Vedantic tradition, the same peace, the peace that passeth understanding, is known as Ananda. It is the quiet joy that resides in the background of experience, irrespective of the content of experience. The quiet joy that is the very nature of our being. It is not derived from experience. It is prior to experience. Sometimes obscured by experience, but for one who is in touch with it, increasingly pervades experience. Now, without leaving your premium seat at the back of the theater, allow your eyes to open. You are no longer listening to this podcast, but you are watching a clip. In other words, visual perception has been added to your experience, but nothing changes. You remain in your premium seat. Allow your eyes to close again. Allow the experience of the body to come to your attention. With our eyes closed, the body is simply a flow of sensations. You are observing them from your premium seat, the seat of awareness. This flow of sensations is not what we are. It is what we know. Just as when we open our eyes, we didn't feel I am the world. We felt I perceive the world. Likewise, now, when the experience of the body comes to our attention, we don't feel I am the body. We feel I sense the body. And just as the way that the world appears to us as awareness, it does not affect us. So the condition of the body does not implicate the one that experiences it. And in our next session, next week, we will begin to collapse the distance and the distinction between awareness and the objects of experience. But for now, see if you can remain in your premium seat while you engage in activities and relationships over the next few days.
Thank you so much, Ane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can open your eyes and come back gently. And you're welcome to not talk or turn your cameras on and see how everyone's feeling.
Yes, I'd love to hear from Zach and Denise what's present, what has opened up. And Ane, while Denise and Zach come on camera here or unmute themselves, thank you. I want to show you, express my gratitude for your guidance today and sharing this wisdom with us. I was just thinking here how much you put into a short 35 minutes or 40 minutes. It's a lot. And if one can surrender into it, it can be in a split second. It can happen for a person to remain on that premium seat of awareness. So I'd love to hear from, open the floor for Denise and Zach. What's present for you? What has opened up for you? And we'll start with Denise.
Yeah, meditation is always hard for me. My mind is just um it's hard for me to just not let my thoughts go, I think. Um but yeah, I understand awareness as being that you can place your awareness anywhere. I mean, you can be where you are in the room, or you can be in another place of the world, right? I mean,
Mm.
And
Well,
or,
anything that you think you can take away from the session today with you on your day to day?
yeah, I think I need to listen to it again. It's just, but yeah, as um, just being more aware of my thoughts and not letting them carry me away.
And if you find yourself becoming more aware of your thoughts, what would that do for you? What will happen in your life?
It's just I can focus on, what I really want and not pay attention to every little thought that triggers me, and you know, I can I can let those go.
Mm. And you bringing up that question, like what one really wants, I think it's such a powerful thing to focus on, what one wants, what you want. And I'll share a little bit here. For instance, a practice I've been having with my clients lately, which is daily to answer that question, what do I want? And just being in the practice of focusing on what one wants, focusing on what you want, focusing on what I want. If I ask you now, and I'll put you on a spot, what do you want? What would you answer?
Um, what do I really want?
What do you, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. So using that extra word there, really, or many, really, like, what do I really, really, really want is actually part of the exercise too. Yeah. So what do you really, really, really want?
To live like we used to live in the beginning, and connected to the natural world, and I think we're moving that direction.
Yeah. And I was just watching your face, just like big smile, smiling even with your eyes, just talking about what you want. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Denise. Zach, what's opened up for you?
Well, it's like a release and a reconnecting at the same time, and it was very well said, and I really liked the metaphor of the screen and the middle row and the awareness, and it brings me into an awareness of myself outside of the body. It's almost like an initiation, or into an out of body experience, but in a more consistent manner by operating in that awareness, and being unaffected, and letting the thoughts come and go and not reacting to them, or attaching yourself or your body to the experience, so that you can do the things that you want to do and be and experience what you want to experience without some pressure on what that is supposed to look like.
Awesome. And I can sense that your communication skills are like top, like, and may I challenge you on something?
Go for it.
I'd like to challenge you for you to repeat parts of what you said in the summary using the word I instead of the word you.
Ah,
You up for it?
yeah.
What was the question again?
So it's repeating what Zach said, and when I've done this exercise, when I said you can ... or people can ... and then I shifted to
Yeah.
I, it's like I'm owning this.
Right.
It's I'm owning this, and you were very eloquent with your words. Very
Yeah,
eloquent.
I really actually can appreciate that, because I think in some senses, maybe doing that, like I could see that maybe I'm speaking to awareness, or like I'm speaking to somebody, but I am speaking about I and personal experience and my experience. And it's like you and I are one, but I understand how it's important to own what I'm feeling and say, I'm feeling this. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm excited about next week already. I have some ideas that I'd like to share with Ane about the format for next week. Very excited, very, very, very excited. Denise, I think for next week, what you said about the meditation and the ability to concentrate or meditate, we're gonna address that. Okay, we're gonna address that, and we're gonna probably do small bite sizes, and we're gonna check in. So we're gonna do a little bit, and we're gonna check in. Does that make sense?
Address what?
Regarding meditation, so you had mentioned that in the past it was maybe challenging for you to meditate or focus. Is that what you, or did I misheard?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to address that. We're going to address that so that we meet you where you are in your ability to meditate. We're going to do a short exercise, and then we're going to check in with you and say, okay, how's that? How was that? Maybe a minute. And then we're going to build upon the ability for you to do it your way, the way that works for you.
Yeah, my mind tends to wander. Yeah.
Good. What a gift. Like a traveler.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Ane, again for hosting this. And thanks, Zach. Nice to meet you, Zach. Nice to meet you, Denise. We're gonna have some more folks next week. Excited to have you meet and start creating a community and start this topic of awareness, also topic of oneness, how everything's connected, everyone's connected. How we're sharing positive thoughts can affect not just our bodies, but everyone's bodies. And we can start creating a community here that meet regularly, and we can, from the topic of awareness and being on that premium seat, also start playing with blessings and blessing ourselves and blessing others, and co-create in a way so that whatever the answer to the question is, what do I want? That it's a daily habit for you to do it, for you to apply it, and for you to live it. Like, so by the end of the night, by the end of the day, you can say, today I did what I wanted to do. Today I got what I wanted to get. I believe this is one of the intentions here. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excited. Any final words, Ane?
Yeah, just thank you everyone for being here, and I look forward to next week. I'll keep it short and simple. It's been quite a while. I scheduled it for half an hour, so yeah, we'll keep it maybe a bit shorter next week. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, get ready to play some games next week. It's going to be a little bit of games, gamified, and we're going to build upon what happened today. We're going to build upon this amazing idea of the premium seat.
Cool. Until next time.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.